What's going on, Pokemon fans? I'm Professor K for the Pokemon Evolutionaries, and we are here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I've got the hotel room to myself right now. Everybody else is downstairs playtesting. I played enough games. It's like 12:30 in the morning. We left the house I left my house at about 6 o'clock at night on Thursday night, and we did not get to Fort Wayne, Indiana until 6 o'clock the next night. So it's Friday night right now. We've only been here for like 6 hours or so. We are dead tired. I know I am anyways. I played a lot of games. I was originally gonna play Trevenant and I changed my mind at the last second. I really just did not feel very confident in Trevenant, seeing what all is gonna be across the field right now, and I don't like the mirror. I don't like the Darkrai matchup, so for the most part, I feel like I'm just not gonna be having a very good time with Trevenant. So I'm gonna switch, and I'm playing a very roguish kind of deck. I'm playing Aerodactyl instead with Maxie's Gallade. So essentially, the idea is to play like a bunch of old Amber Aerodactyl, Fossil Excavation kits, Twist Mountain to get Aerodactyls into play. You play 4 Talonflame, and you play 1 Latias EX, which is a really cool card. It's got an ability called Bright Down, which it can't be affected by damage or effects of attacks from Pokemon that have abilities. So Hexmaniac's the only way around that, and things like Trevenant don't play it. So if you're playing against Trevenant, all you gotta do is start Latias and don't do anything else, and you'll deck your opponent out. So that's essentially what I'm gonna be doing with that. It's got decent matchups against Darkrai because of Gallade, and also Latias stops all of the attackers except for that Breakpoint Darkrai. It's got a few other good matchups across the board as well. A little bit of a sketchy matchup against Garb. It's just a matter of who sets up and keeps things going, but it's a strong choice, I think, and I'm pretty happy with it. So we're just gonna have some fun with it and hope that we do well. There's over 800 Masters registered, so chances are we're gonna see a top 256 points. So as long as we can get in there, we get 30 points, and that's better than nothing if you ask me. First time I'm doing an expanded tournament, so honestly, this is just a testing ground for me more than anything. And then, of course, we've got 2 more regionals coming up fairly soon. About a month from now, we've got Hartford and we got Daytona Beach, so there's plenty of stuff coming on, but mainly we're just gonna focus on tomorrow. I'll keep you guys updated as the rounds go along, and well, just hope that we do well. We'll have to see, so stick around.
What's up, bud? What's up? How's it going, man? What's up, guys? What's up, everybody? Yo, hey. I can get this line. I'm excited. Yeah. This line is it goes all the way outside. All the way outside and loops around and comes back in. Nope, I'm good. Yeah, same. Nope. Good luck, man.
Players, that is time.
Nice. Nice. You couldn't have timed that any better. That was great. All right, guys, we're here at the event. So far, I have not been able to give round by round updates because there's been a lot of ties, unfortunately for me. So far, we're doing all right. We're living. That's the main thing. We haven't lost anything yet. But round 1, I did face against Darkrai, which should be a pretty favorable matchup for me as long as I get out an early Gallade. And game 1, I did not. I did not get out Gallade. I thought I had a maxi hand until I top decked an Aerodactyl that I couldn't do anything with whatsoever. So, unfortunately, I dropped that first match to Darkrai. Game number 2, I came back and I managed to maxi out 2 Gallades within 2 turns, and he was like, I scoop. Okay, can't do anything against that. So I won that one. And the third game started, I want to say, maybe it went 2 or 3 minutes in. And it turned out to be that, well, we ran out of time. 6 prizes each, can't take it. So we went to tie on that one. Round number 2 comes around. I don't know what my opponent's playing. They didn't mulligan. So I start Talonflame, again, trying to go for maxis. I start Talonflame and turn over Phantom. I was like, oh, great. All I gotta do, get out Latias. That's all I gotta do. So I went first. I attached a DCE. I passed. And they went Tapu Lele. They attached a Psychic Energy and a Bursting Balloon and passed. It's like, okay, cool. This is workable. So on my turn, I draw. Can't really do much with my hand, really. I did a few things, Ultra Ball, this and that, whatever. And I went ahead and had Aeroblitz. I Aeroblitzed for the Latias. I had to take that 60 damage from the Bursting Balloon. They attached a DCE, donked me. So, sorry about this, guys. I had to take that loss on the first round. Second round, I just mulliganed until I got Latias. I set it down. He had no idea what I was doing. So he just went through his deck as normal and tried to attack, and I was like, Latias says he can't attack if you have abilities. He's like, oh, okay. Ultra Balls for Necrozma, and goes, oh, it's got an ability. Well, I scoop. Because honestly, the best way to beat that is to just play Latias, deck them out. That's what happened. So he knew he was going to get decked out, just took the loss there. So we're both one game apiece. We go to game 3. He knows my strategy. He starts Shaman, I start Latias. We just start draw pass, draw pass, draw pass, draw pass, draw pass. I see an opportunity to take the game. I've got this much left in my deck. I ran through a total of 6 old Amber Aerodactyl with Fossil Excavation Kit, just recycling them over and over again. I had the Float Stun on the Latias, I had the DC in my hand, I just had to get an Aerodactyl. I whiffed all 6. All 6. By then, he knew what I was trying to do again, so he benches Phantom next turn. We do some stuff back and forth, I take some knockouts. He takes, I think, 1 knockout, and it came down to where I needed to take 1 prize card. He had a Lele promoted with 120 damage on it, and all I needed to do was just get 1 more card to maxi for the Gallade, and, well, Xerosic goes my Float Stone. So I had no way of retreating on the last turn of time, so we tied that one. And then game number 3, I'm sitting there waiting. My opponent did not show up at all until after the round started, a good 3 minutes into the round. So automatically, if you're late, you cannot tie. It's just you can't win on a tie. If he goes, if we go 1 game apiece and it goes to tie, I take the win. So he sits down finally, flips over Manectric and Bulu. Okay, didn't really know what to expect there, but I knew I needed to go for Gallade. So that's basically what I did. I just did whatever I could to get Gallade, started taking knockouts, and first game went to me. Second game almost went to him, actually. It was really close. I was struggling to get Aerodactyls out. I had an active Latias. I needed to get something down, managed to do it, and it went to time. Nobody took enough prizes to win, so that 1 game managed to win me game number 3. So with that, we go to lunch break, and now we're getting ready for round number 4. We're 1-0-2. Again, we can afford to take probably 1 more tie to make like top 32. Otherwise, we're looking at top 64, top 128, top 256, unless you know, we manage to win out after that. So we'll see how things go, and well, we'll be back with more. Back with more. I wish I had really good news. I have some good news. I have some bad news, but you know, that's how it goes. So anyways, coming back after lunch, as I said before, we were coming into round number 4. I faced a Darkrai deck, actually part of Team Dead Draw Gaming, which you guys have heard me mention Danny before. Really good guy over there. They've got their own competitive team now. And I faced up against Kyle, and it was really close, honestly. He took game 1, I took game 2. Again, Maxie's is everything against Darkrai, no matter what. It came down to game number 3. We went to time. On turn 2, he needed to get off 3 Dark Energy and a Muscle Band, or he had to go 4 Dark Energy to knock out my active Latias, and he did it. He put down like max elixirs. He had 3 max elixirs. He shamaned and got a Muscle Band, and he took me on that one. So round number 4 was a loss, putting me to 1-1-2. Definitely not the best record. But then I ended up facing against another Darkrai deck, and it was a completely different story. 2-0, no problem. Maxies for days, like it was just no issue. And he had some dead draw issues as well, which kind of helped me out. So we took another win, ended up 2-1-2 after that. Going into the next one, this match I feel like a terrible person for, like on the inside, but I faced against Trevenant on round number 6. And I knew it was Trevenant, so I started Latias. Latias Breakdown ability says, any Pokemon with abilities can't
touch Latias. And Trevenalists don't play Hex, and most of them don't play a secondary attacker that does not have an ability. So I flip it up and he goes, "You're kidding." I said, "Nope." He's like, "Are you really gonna do it?" I said, "Yep." Draw pass, draw pass, draw pass, draw pass, draw pass, draw pass. He went first, so he decked himself first. Game number 2, I start Latias. I go first this time, because he told me to, and I deck myself out. So, one game, one game. Goes to the next game, I go, "You go first." Draw pass, draw pass, draw pass, draw pass, decked him out. So, that's how I beat Trevenant for round number 6. Oh my gosh, shout out to my boy Hunter for that idea, by the way. Again, I feel like a terrible human being on the inside, but it's what beats Trevenant, like hands down in this deck. So, I guess you take what you can get. Round number 7. Round number 7. I look at the pairings and I go, well, this guy's in my van. I traveled up with 6 other guys, and I was like, all right, I know what he's playing. It's not good. It's Drampa Garb. And it just so happens that it's this guy right here. So, guys, this is Manny, playing Drampa Garb. Yeah. So, I'm going to just kind of move this over here into, like, interviewer mode here, if I can get this in here. There we go. So, how did you feel about that matchup?
I thought it was a little good because we watched that matchup go down and test a couple of times.
Yeah, it didn't go well for me.
I did call you jinx on that second game.
He did. Game 2, he goes, "You're gonna start Latias." Guess what? We started Latias, and I dead drew like crazy for game number 2. Game number 1, I don't even think it was close either, was it? I think I took like 2 prizes on you.
You did.
I took 2 prizes. That was it. So now here we sit at 3, 2, and 2. We need 15 points for top 56, so I need a win and a draw in order to get points. Can't afford any more losses. So that should be fun.
Rounds up, brother.
All right, rounds up. We're gonna get to it.
So the tournament is now over, and the last 2 rounds, I am ready to report. I'm back in the hotel room. I am so tired, like ridiculously tired. It is 11:18, and we just finished all 9 rounds of Pokemon, and I think we finished at like 11 o'clock-ish or so. Overall, I couldn't have had a better time with the deck that I chose. Again, shout out to Hunter for telling me to play Aerodactyl. Like, it was so much fun. It was really good. It just wasn't quite enough, especially towards the end. And there's really not much you can really do about that. You know, it all comes down to matchup. So I'll tell you guys a little bit about how the final 2 games went. Round 8, I faced Darkrai again. So that is now 1, 2, 3, 4 Darkrai's that I faced. 4 Darkrai's. And I won. It was a very, very close matchup. It was actually more Yveltal than Darkrai. It was like Yveltal EX with Darkrai GX. There was also a Drampa and there's something else in there too. It was really kind of strange. Oh, it was Fright Night Yveltal. That was another one. It was just very weird. I couldn't quite get it. It played Maxie's Gallade as well. So it was just a very interesting deck. I did manage to beat it though. It was very close. It came down to turn 3 of time, him needing to be able to get my Gallade out of the active to knock out my Aerodactyl to force a tie, because I won game 1. So game 2 goes to a tie, I win overall. So here I am, we're sitting at 4, 2, and 2. All I need to do is tie or win, and we get points. That's it, that's all I need, tie or a win. So I sit down to my opponent on round number 9, and I say, listen, if we tie, we both get points. If one wins, then one might get more points than the other. That's it. And he's like, well, you might not. And I was like, no, I'm sure, we're probably gonna get it. He goes, all right, well, I don't know if we are or not. So how about this? If it goes to game 3, then we'll tie. I was like, all right, that's fair, so we'll try it. Turns out, after that, game number 1, oh, he flips over Golisopod. That's what he flipped over, Golisopod. Can't do anything with Golisopod, no matter what. So unfortunately, couldn't do anything without that. Game number 2, same thing. It just runs over Aerodactyl, it really does. What's up? Where'd you go? I'm dead. I can't even get you in the camera. There you are, you're over there. I'm dead. Same. So anyways, like I said, there's just nothing you can do about Golisopod. It just, there are no outs to it, and it played the Laserbank variant, which is even harder to get around with Seismitoad. One-shots my Aerodactyls. it can get there with Glade with Laserbank. So I just couldn't do anything. The opponent I faced, really great guy, had a lot of fun with him. But unfortunately, we go 4-3-2, 14 points, I get 297. So, no points. But that's all right, we had a good time. And we still got stuff to do tomorrow, so I'll be downstairs hanging out with people and stuff. So if I get anything to film with fans and stuff like that, we will do so. Otherwise, thanks for watching. For the best prices and service on Pokemon TCG singles and products, check out ccgcastle.com and use promo code Evolutionaries-5 for 5% off your next order.